Tom and Linda were a pair of young scientists studying the theory of parallel worlds. Their research had remained theoretical for many years until one day they made a breakthrough. They developed a device capable of opening a portal to another reality. Their laboratory, hidden deep in the forest, became the place where science fiction became reality. One night, they decided to conduct the first experiment. Activating the device, they watched with trepidation as a shimmering portal opened before them. Tom, full of curiosity, stepped into it, followed by Linda. They found themselves in a world similar to their own, but something was subtly wrong. The sky was dim and crimson, and the air seemed thick and heavy. The forest around them was dark and silent, as if nature itself was frozen in fear. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they noticed that the trees began to take on strange shapes, twisting and writhing as if in agony. Tom suddenly felt that someone was watching them. He turned and saw a shimmering shadow hiding among the trees. Linda also sensed the presence of something sinister and suggested they return. But when they tried to find their way back, the portal was gone. They were trapped in this dreadful world. Panicked, Tom and Linda began searching for an exit, but the forest around them grew increasingly bizarre and terrifying. They found an old, abandoned house and decided to use it as a temporary refuge. Inside the house, time seemed to have stopped. Dust and cobwebs covered every surface, and the air was filled with a foul smell of decay. In one of the rooms, they discovered a diary belonging to previous researchers who had also ended up in this world. The entries spoke of an interdimensional entity that inhabited this place, a malevolent creature that fed on fear and despair. Tom and Linda realized that this entity had been watching them since their arrival. Suddenly, the house shook and the entity emerged from the shadows. It was enormous, with a shapeless body and multiple eyes that glowed menacingly. The creature emitted a terrifying whisper that penetrated their minds, instilling dread. They tried to escape, but the house's corridors shifted, turning into a maze that led them back to the monster. Tom grabbed Linda's hand and decided to make one last desperate dash for the exit. They ran out of the house and into the forest, but the creature pursued them, its whisper growing louder. Suddenly, a new portal opened before them, shimmering with a familiar light. They sprinted towards it, not looking back. With tremendous effort, they leaped into the portal and found themselves back in their laboratory. The door behind them slammed shut, and they heard the creature let out a final piercing scream before the portal closed. Tom and Linda sat on the floor, breathing heavily and trembling. They had survived, but knew they had encountered something unforgettable and undeniable. Their journey into the parallel world had left an indelible mark on their minds. The entity, dwelling beyond the bounds of reality, still waited, and who knew how many more worlds concealed such horrors. Several days passed. Tom and Linda tried to return to normal life, but every time they closed their eyes, the image of the interdimensional creature haunted them. One night, lying in bed, Tom heard a faint whisper. He opened his eyes and saw a shimmering shadow in the corner of the room. The creature had found a way to return to their world.